To describe Steve in a few words, I would say inspirational, hardworking, professional, and dedicated to his students.
I think if I were to describe Mr. George in a few words, I would have to choose his three favorite words: leadership, attitude, and writing. It's the law, as he would say.
Steve George does not, quote unquote, have an education degree. He did not go to school to be an educator, but I would consider Steve George a great educator. He inspired the students. He got very involved in Franklin Central and Franklin Township, and that is what a teacher does. So in my book, Steve George is a true teacher. He inspires students to be the best.
So there's a quote I think often attributed to Mark Twain about never letting school get in the way of your education. And Mr. George really embodied that. He had an outcome in mind for us, and he would allow the students to figure out how to get there on their own.
I think my favorite part about being a Flash was the spirit and the camaraderie that you feel, not just with the staff, but the students. It made you want to go to work every day. The environment here was just fantastic. The building was fabulous. The radio station was exceptional. Couldn't put myself in a better place. I loved it.
I think the success that WRFT had during Mr. George's tenure is directly influenced by the way that he ran the station. His relationship was not limited to the 50 minutes that you had him in class. He truly did his best to treat you like a peer, like you had real adult ideas and were contributing to the success of the class or the radio station or the TV studio. And he cared about his students deeply. It made you feel like an adult. That's part of growing up, I think, is being able to have real, difficult conversations sometimes and figuring out your way in the world. And Mr. George was tremendous in that, and I think that if you talk to any of his former students, that would be a takeaway that they had.
The success of the radio station to me and all of the awards given to it was strictly because of the students. We were 99.9% student run, and I was very fortunate to have students who were motivated academically as well as individually. They were just motivated people who wanted to be successful. And they took it as a challenge every year to be successful and for our radio station to excel. It made it fun.
The students just did not want to let him down, and they worked very, very hard to be the best they could be at WRFT and the best they could be for Steve George.
Being inducted into the Wall of Fame, I think it's an extreme honor, probably the honor of my career.